I think we need to get a psychologist on who specializes in this transition, because on the ordinary course of our life, we've spent the last 40 years accumulating money, right? We're in accumulation mode. We might be earning after tax a couple of grand a week, right? So we get to retirement or whatever, there's no mortgage. You're better off in retirement with your super balance, and particularly our generation would be better off in retirement than right now.
Yeah. I think but
it's the psychology.
You always have money coming in, right? There's a difference. When you're working, you know you'll get paid tomorrow. You know you can work. Once you've stopped, and if any listeners are after 50s and are struggling to find work now, when they're really facing that wall, it's hard to get back into the workforce in your late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, and we do see people comment to say, we don't want to pay our mortgage off or salary sacrifice to super, then pay the mortgage off when we retire, because if we lose work, it's harder to get back to work.
Yeah.
But that aside, it's that psychology. I think you said it. I've got money coming into my life every week from work. We get to the line in the sand of, crap, I've got no money. You're going to be scared to spend money. And you might be saying, or listening to this right now, saying, Glenn, how can you sit there and say that when you're not 65? I'm 40. But I can guarantee you, guess what, everyone? I've been in this position. Do you know how, Nathan?
Being self-employed?
Number one. But number two, when I sold my business, I was, what was that? Like 35 or something, 36, 37. So I was working, had money coming in every week, right? Sold the business, the money stopped, but over here I had a big pile of cash. And for 2 years, when I started the podcast, I wasn't earning income. And I was freaking out. So I'm acutely aware of the psychology of this situation.
Yeah, all of a sudden, that preservation of that capital
is paramount.
Yeah, because if I don't have it, I don't have it. And I think
now the carve out is, yes, I was young enough to rebuild a business and I wasn't retiring, but I know that feeling of no money coming in, bucket of money here. Don't want to spend it.
Yeah. And then if you couple that with all the other feelings going into retirement around, like, I've got a routine,
purpose,
I've got social network, I've got, purpose, I've got, you're getting hit with all of that at once. It's a pretty challenging situation. One thing I will say around that, it might be great to go, well, if I get $650, I'll get paid more. Let's just go and blow 50 grand. I'm not saying don't. Go on the holiday. But just note there is less money in the pool. So one thing this isn't illustrating is how long that additional money does last.
And we'll get into that modeling.
Yeah. But I think this is really powerful. I think it's I just want to highlight the black lines as well. That's those asset test limits. So that's when the pension's dropping off.
Yeah. So that's why here, $1 million in super, 5% a year of 50,000, you end up with income of 50,000 because there's no age pension.
Yeah, yeah. But what else is going to happen? These are how much you draw as an income, not how much you spend. So if you're spending more than what's there, let's say you needed 50 and you've got 700,000, you're going to take more out of super this year to top up than you will next year, and you'll get a little bit more pension. And there's that interplay between those two things that plays out over time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the modest, comfortable lifestyle and look at a heap of financial projections and modeling and a case study. We'll be back. I always struggle with that. We'll be back right after this. Now, the ASFA retirement standards, and this was funny because when I threw you under the bus last episode,
we were ASFAing it.
You had it around or whatever. There was the typo.
Had it way around.
But it's basically the Association of Super Funds of Australia. It's basically their think tank.
Yeah. And
an association and members of super funds.
Yeah.
They do a heap of research.
Yeah.
So talk to us about this here.
I think it's really good that they've done these standards because they have an obligation to their members.
Yeah, well, it's a benchmark. It's
and they can universally agree on something and work together on something. But I don't use these in my own work because everyone's situation is so different. And I do find there's a couple of little things I haven't. But let's walk through at a basic level. So they've gone comfortable versus modest. And if you go on their website, you can see what they include inside of what that means.
And just for the people listening only, I might just get you to read all these.
Yeah. So we've got comfortable lifestyle is, for a single person, is $52,383 a year.
Which is after tax.
Yeah,
So
that is
a
money
grand a
in the
week.
grand a week. If a grand a week hits your account, can you live a comfortable lifestyle?
Without accommodation payments.
Without accommodation. So you own your house, you're not paying rent. This is just that one number. They assume in these two numbers that you are a homeowner. As a couple, it's $73,875, which works out at about $1,400. So if you're like, can we retire? And you're looking at it and going, geez, we spend $2,000 a week. Based on the ASFA, we would be spending much in excess of that.
And the thing is, like, if you have $3 million in your super fund and you've been living and you've been earning high executive salaries of $200, $300, $400 a year, well, this means nothing to you.
And I would encourage everyone to, I know it's a pain, go and figure out what it is. Download your bank statements and run through what did you spend in the last 12 months.
Yeah, how much does it cost you to wake up of a morning?
To do your life the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, do you like mowing the lawns or do you pay someone to do it? All that kind of stuff. So that's the comfortable side. When you get to the modest side, that's removing a lot of those niceties out of the way. So they reckon it's $33,386 a year or $642 for a single per week. It's $640 coming in. Or as a couple, it's $926 a week or $48,000. So if we compare that to the age pension for a single person is $29,000. It's $33,000. So they're saying in that age pension is not enough for a modest lifestyle, which I think is a fair statement. But if you've got a little bit of super, and we look back on those other things, if you're drawing $5,000 a year out of your super fund, you're topping up.
Yeah.
Right? You're able to sort of hit that minimum amount.
This one here, so a modest lifestyle for renters, this is where I don't know, and ASFA, if you are, if this gets across corporate affairs desk or whatever at ASFA, and it's probably on the website, where did this come from? This is just...
It makes no sense to me.
It makes no sense. So why does it make no sense?
Well, look at the difference between a modest lifestyle. So we're looking at $33,386 if you're a homeowner, or $46,663
if you're a renter.
That means you're allowing $13,000 for rent.
Or about $250 a week.
That's fantastic, guys. Where is that? Where are you renting for $250? I don't even think you're boarding with your kids for that much.
No.
Like that's insane. So if you went differently and you went, well, modest is $30,000 a year, or what did we say, $642? Go and rent somewhere, it's $550.
Yeah.
So now you need $1,000 a week.
Yeah. So basically, what we're saying, if you're a single and you want a comfortable lifestyle, which would be $52,000 a year, and you're renting, add your rent.
Yeah, $25,000, $30,000, whatever.
So let's add
$50,000.
$25,000. We'll do $500 a week, whatever. That's 77-ish. So that's how you can work out if you are renting. But this also assumes. Well, sorry, I'll go back. You said it before. This doesn't take into account if you've got $10 million in the bank, if you've got age pension or anything. This is just like if you want a comfortable or modest lifestyle based on our members, on the data that we've researched, this is it.
Yeah.
Now let's have a look.
And it doesn't include rent assist in those, and maybe that's where they get that number from.
Rent assistance isn't huge.
It's
like $120 or something.
$140, yeah. It's not massive.
A fortnight, not a week.
Yeah, so it's not a huge difference, but maybe that's where the maths have come from.
So if you're playing at home, we'll just run through what they kind of call a comfortable lifestyle. Top level private health insurance, fast reliable internet. I mean, that's probably the same as
It's
modest.
just internet these days, yeah.
Own reasonable car, regular leisurely activities, cinemas, exhibitions, yoga, dance classes, home repairs, updates and maintenance, regular professional haircuts, confidence to use air conditioning and the home and all utilities, occasional restaurant meals, replace worn-out clothing, annual domestic trip to see family, and one overseas trip every 7 years. So modest, basic private health, basic mobile and internet data allowance, owning a cheaper, older, basic car, infrequent leisurely activities, no international holidays, limited budget for clothes, regular basic haircuts. Like it's
Limited,
just
limited.
So if we go back here, and this is an important thing, when every time you're at the pub, at the cafe, at the barber, and people say, "Oh, Glenn, like, what do you do for work?" I usually say, "Oh, I run an online media business." I don't like to say that I do a podcast or a money show because then I just get questions and I get talked at about money. But when it comes out that I'm a money show, they're like, "Oh, the question's always, well, how much do you need to retire?" And we have to get away from asking that question as a lump sum. We need to go to this ASFA stuff and be like, how much do we need to retire per week based on our lifestyle?
Yeah, look at your situation and go, my favorite question, if $800 hit your account every week and you weren't working, is that enough?
And you own your house.
Yeah, and you're in your house. Start running through the numbers.
Yeah. So
we could go out and we can, but also I've got to pay for this and I've got to pay for that. And we've got the MCC membership. And well, my neighbour doesn't have an MCC membership, so that's not in their budget. So this is it's for you.
So the question is not how much do I need to retire as a lump sum? The question is how much does it cost us to exist? Okay, it's $40,000 or $50,000 a year. Then we can back calculate it.
Yeah. And go back to your first comment about modelling.
Yeah.
Modelling is only as good as the information we put in. If you're doing some financial modelling, you're using a calculator online, you're going and seeing an advisor, and they just put in a generic ASFA number, but it has no connection to what you spend, that modelling is useless.
So when you say here on this slide, how long will your money last? We could do a basic PMT calculation to see how long money lasts. People might say, what's PMT?
It is a function in your Excel thing. It's something that anyone who's done any finance study will know back to front. But effectively, it is the way you calculate future value of money.
Yeah.
The engineers listening will be like, no, it's not. It's change in distinct value over time because that's where it comes from. But you can Google PMT how to do on Excel. And effectively, what you'll have is you'll need to know 4 of the 5 things. You'll need to know the interest rate you want to apply to it. You'll need to know how much you start with, how much you want to finish with, and how much you're drawing down from it, and how many years. They're the 5 things. If you have 4 of them, it calculates the other one.
Right.
Yeah. Except interest rates get a bit funny. But that's what that basic thing. Most of the calculators you'll see online where it's like, if I had this much, how long will it last? They're just doing that. They're doing a basic PMT. But it's, as we've already discussed, it's assuming everything stays the same. It's linear in its relationship.
Yeah. So when considering age pension, it can be more complicated because the more you spend, the more you draw down in your super, potentially. The less you have, that's a factor. The less you have, the more pension you receive, and then the less you draw down.
Yeah.
So they're kind of the moving things.
If you rewind now and go back to that slide, or then if you want to jump to it, you can kind of see that in the heat map one.
Yeah.
That the amount you're taking out is 5% across the line, but the amount of income changes. So if you've got more money, you get less pension. You're going to have to spend more of your own money.
And that's why you should be updating if you are on the age pension or when you get there, if you qualify, you need to be updating with Centrelink as regularly as possible to make sure that you're getting paid the right amount. If
there's a bad news day and the market drops 10% because something happened overseas, update your Centrelink.
Yeah, for that fortnight.
Exactly.
Hey, it's Glenn here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.